Hey, bud, you almost set?
Yep, we just about have everything we need for the Clone Wars at Gravity Throttle.
So you know you're gonna miss the wheelie race, right?
Yeah, I left Duke in charge. He's good.
But who's gonna commentate on the races?
Well, I thought I'd leave that one up to you.
Seriously? You sure?
Absolutely, bud. You got this. Besides, if you have any issues, Duke's here to help you out.
Well, I guess I can always bribe him with some bacon if he's not willing.
Right? Who doesn't love Canadian bacon? Look, we'll be back in no time. And besides, what's the worst that could happen?
Welcome everyone to the third of 4 racing events here at the Elevation Trail for the 2023 racing season. With Crazy Canuck headed to the Gravity Throttle Racing for the Clone Wars, I'll be taking over the commentary duties. My name is Ajax and we're incredibly excited to bring you the Wheelie Big Race. 32 builders took our challenge of mashing a car body onto a truck chassis with big mud and snow tires, and they certainly didn't disappoint. We've got some big names here for this tournament, along with some rookies who think they have what it takes to tame the trail. Buckle up, we're going for a rip, boys. If you're not familiar with how we do things here at the trail, I'll break down the rules and scoring for you real quick. We run 3 wide behind a moto-style start gate, and the drivers have been randomly assigned in groups of 3. Each group will run 3 times down the trail, so the drivers have an equal run in each lane. There are 10 checkpoints, and crossing a checkpoint will earn you 1 point. Crossing the finish line first will get you an extra point, and points accumulate through each round. The winner will be the driver who has tallied the most points across all legs of the tournament. Ties will be decided by a head-to-head runoff where the driver who tallies the most points moves on. Track officials have the final say in any discrepancies. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get to the racing, shall we? Duke has the first group all set up, so let's meet the cars and drivers in group number 1. Driving this beauty of a Buick, it's Numbskull from Numbskull Racing. Checking in from Vapor Racing, it's Sneaky Bob and his McLaren F1 GT. And King Jester rolls in his gangsta lean Cadillac El Mirage weighing 41 grams. Okay, boys, let's go wheeling. Well, King Jester is a rookie in this here field, and Sneaky Bob wastes no time in showing him a welcome. He welcomes him right into the guardrail. Bam! Unfortunately, that backfires on Bob, and both their races end early. Numbskull gets a free run at the rest of the course, but can't stick the landing after the jump. He wiggles out just at the 7 line. But after 1, it's Numbskull out front early. Well, looks like race 2 is King Jester's revenge. He kinda hangs back and just let everybody else wreck. Numbskull gets into the guardrail just before the jump spins out, while Sneaky Bob gets into the berm and puts himself up and over. That leaves Jester wide open course. All he has to do is cross the line. He almost doesn't make it as he tries to run over the hockey net. However, the joke is on Sneaky Bob and Numbskull as Jester runs away with an 11-point run. And after 2, the rookie's out in front. And this is why Numbskull is one of the best in the business. He learns from his first 2 runs and doesn't make a mistake in the 3rd. Jester, on the other hand, must have had all that pressure just well up inside him and just throws it all away after the jump. Numbskull gets a bit of an assist from Bob, and Jester's on his roof. Bob's having some fun out there too as he pulls a wheelie. Numps goes across the line, and we gotta take another look at that to see whether or not Bob actually crossed. We go to the overhead cam and zoom in a little bit. Oh, I don't think so. That's still 9 points, but after 3, it's Numbskull with the lead.
Looks like King Jester's okay. Let's get him rolled back on his wheels, hooked up to the toe and down to the finish line. Get a move on getting this track cleaned up. We got another group coming up. Okay, heads up. Jester's en route.
As Group 1 gets settled down at the finish line, and the track crew continues to clean the chaos that just happened, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard. You'll notice that there's only 18 spots, because, well, only 18 cars are going to make the next round. The first 3 are on, but that can change in a heartbeat. We've also got a little surprise for you, too. We've added a low scoreboard, because at the heights, when you fail, we like to call that out. And in the end, somebody will walk away with the Yellow Snow Award. You don't want to be on that board, because the lowest score is going to join Hades from the Jeep tournament earlier on in this year. We'd also like to give a shout out to some of the friends of our channel here, and if you want to see your logo on the trail, send one along with your next entry. We take water slides and we put them up. Let's go into the next group as Duke's ready to send them out. First in this group is a fellow countryman. The Diener's driving the Chevy Nova wagon for Team Beaverworks. Next, in one of the most popular castings for this tournament, you got Maurice Milestones for Milestone Racing. And coming in a hot squat, Triple B for Cheap Thrills Racing. He's driving a Volvo Gasser at 60 grams. It's time to flow with the snow, boys. Let's go for Group 2. It's a decent start to this group, as when the gate drops, everybody's clean as they jockey for position heading into the jump. Maurice gets there first, but unfortunately when he lands, he's all squirrely. And in the back, Triple B goes over in front of Diener from the Beaverworks, and Diener has to slam on the brakes to prevent from clobbering Triple B. I must say that's pretty polite of the Canadian for not crashing into Triple B, and I'm sure Triple B is going to buy him a beer after the race. But it's Maurice who's out front after 1. Make that 2 beers for Triple B and the Diener, because I'm sure Triple B wants that last lap back. He inadvertently swerves right into Diener's path, and Diener again shows some really good Canadian qualities as he prevents himself from clobbering Triple B. Triple B goes over anyways, but Milestones gets a free run at the rest of the course, but he almost throws it away at the pond. He's just able to get a hood and a fender and a tire. That's 11 points. Get it any way you can, boys. And Maurice is miles ahead after 2. Just like Numbskull in Group 1, Maurice saves his best run for last. He's not only first to the jump, but he actually lands it beautifully and sets him up for a great run towards the finish line, where in the back, you got Beaverworks and Triple B all over the place. However, I think something catastrophically went wrong for the Diener's wagon. Triple B's actually able to collect himself together and back it across the line for 10 points. But as you see from the overhead, Maurice comes down, slaps the tires, sends them flying, because he knows he's just put up a monster score.
Yeah, it looks like the rear suspension has completely collapsed on Dean's car. We're going to tow back to the start line.
Well, that was an absolute banger. This group had one of the highest scores, and unfortunately one of the lowest scores so far in the tournament, but it's early yet. Anything can happen. Well, that's it for day one from the Wheelie Big Race at Elevation Trail, Lake Ridge Heights. I'd like to congratulate the top 3 drivers. We got Milestones with 30 points. It's a hell of a score he's throwing on the board there. We got Numbskull and Sneaky Bob, who aren't that far behind. But it's early yet, and we got a lot of cars and drivers who are waiting to get their chance at the hill. Tune in next time as another 6 drivers battle it out to put their name on the big board and get themselves into the next round. I've been your host, Ajax, filling in for 905 and the Crazy Canuck. This is Lake Ridge Heights Elevation Trail's Wheelie Big Race. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's racing, and if you have, like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Ajax, did you remember the donuts?
Yeah, a box of maple glazed and French crullers, right? That's what you asked for?
Crullers? Nobody likes crullers.